all over but the shouting on day number 1 of the biggest week of fishing, day number 1 of 3 days of fishing at the Academy Sports and Outdoors Bassmaster Classic. Knoxville, Tennessee, our fantastic host city. Huge crowds at the takeoff this morning. We're in the heart of bass fishing country, and we couldn't be in a more friendly place to contest this World Championship. Hey, if you were with us today, you saw how some of it went down. Hopefully you saw how a bunch of it went down. Tommy Sanders here with Davy Hite and Mark Zona. Guys, we started out, we knew that there would be a lot of different ways to get there on this day. What really played biggest?
Number one, I can't say enough. We've covered a lot of tournaments all over the country. Big thanks to everybody that came to the expo.
Yeah.
Place was packed all day long. Going to be a big weekend. It's weird. This tournament kind of looks exactly like the last time the Bassmaster Elite Series, not the Bassmaster Classic of 2019, but the last time the Bassmaster Elite Series was here. It almost looks like a replay with Jeff Gustafson as of right now. And here's the scary thing. And we talked about this, his work was done in 25 minutes. The rest of the day he practiced. Did he find another bullet for his gun? What are we going to see going into day number 2? And the biggest thing to really keep your eye going into day 2, big storms in the morning are predicted.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Gussie's got off to the start that he wanted, no doubt about it. But we've talked about this all week. There'll be some anglers that have a slow day, that have a 10-pound, 11-pound day. Unfortunately, there's a lot of them that had that today, but hopefully there'll be some of those anglers that will catch a 17, 18, maybe even a 20-pound limit to get back in the mix. The largemouth, smallmouth thing, I think you nailed it, Z. It's going to have a lot to do with the weather we have tomorrow morning, how intense those rains are and how long they last, because it could change water clarity and water level a little bit, but more clarity, and we have to hope that more largemouth would move up. The big thing that I don't think anyone really knows, when will those smallmouth that Gussie is fishing for actually leave those deep areas?
Break up.
Yes.
Let's take a look at some of the action we were witness to today, including Brandon Card, one of the favorites, due to the time spent on the water on this fishery.
Yeah, definitely a solid day for Brandon Card. I know he had a decent practice really fishing in that Little River area of Fort Loudon. And interestingly enough, fishing a little bit deeper than the other competitors that we had cameras on. And the other thing for all of our locals that are watching this footage, watch the footage earlier today. Fort Loudon had the majority of the attention. Over 90% of our field lived in Fort Loudon today.
Yeah, it's really amazing that many fishermen fish Fort Loudon, and just really a lot of different ways. You see Brandon Card fishing clear water, fishing a little deeper. John Cox just the opposite, fishing Fort Loudon, an arm off of it, fishing stained water all day long, mixing it up, but we only saw him catch bait on this flat side crankbait. John Cox, it really, I'll be honest with you, surprised me that we never saw him catch a fish like Brandon Lester, a 4.5, maybe a 5-pounder that would have put him right there in the top 2 or 3.
Yes, and you just kind of feel like somewhere during this tournament, that shallower, dirty water is going to play, throwing a frit-side crankbait pretty much all day long. Started off early for John Cox, anchoring it with that one right there about midday. John Cox said he will live in that dirtier water. And some amazing, he is not far from a lot of our other competitors that we had cameras on fishing a lot cleaner water, definitely maximizing the color on Fort Loudon today.
John Cox, always the happy warrior. Brandon Lester, one of the hottest anglers in the sport of fishing over the past year and a half.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's done well on the Bassmaster Elite Series, had a couple good classics. He had the win last year. Pickwick, he's won 2 opens. He and Lee Livesey have been doing a lot of winning, no matter which tournaments they have been fishing last few years. Brandon Lester is somebody that obviously we're going to keep an eye on because he's in second place, but also the way he caught these fish. You see some of them on a lipless crankbait, some of them on a jig. He's doing a lot of different things. He's not going to be out of the top 10 this week, in my opinion.
And this shot right here, midday, big call for Brandon Lester.
Give me some on that.
Brandon Lester, one of the big favorites coming in here, though not specifically an East Tennessee guy. He knows this river. And now Jeff Gustafson, the winner here in the Elite Series event in 2021. Could he do it again? That was one of the big questions coming in here.
Yeah, you nailed it. A few years ago, not only in the Classic, but even when Gussie came and exposed what he loves to do, you think, man, these guys are so good, and they've had 2 years, and they've known this classic. They've come in here a long time. There's a lot of guys that are going to cannibalize that place, but he has outfished everyone around him.
He's done that for 2 tournaments in a row, at least so far. And the other thing about that, really watching Gussie here, he has defied what a lot of locals said you could not do here. A lot of locals said, yeah, you can blow a tournament away 1 or 2 days. But Gussie has done it 4 days back a couple of years ago, and he is right on par for that in this Bassmaster Classic.
Very, very impressive stuff from trying to be the second international angler to win a Bassmaster Classic. Good stuff. Can he keep it up tomorrow? So many questions for tomorrow. Each day at a Bassmaster Classic seems to present its own set of challenges and opportunities. Coverage comes your way at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on FS1 and Tubi. After that on Bassmaster.com. That's day 2 coverage tomorrow. We certainly hope to see you there for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Bassmaster Classic 2023, day 2.